Okay, so in this AdFederation Group Weekly Live Training, I will talk about basically why using one Facebook pixel for all your products, in that, for example, one business manager, even if you have multiple stores, is like great thing, right? So why this topic is actually great? Because, well, every time when I go to any group or any place full of like marketers, that's usually the first thing that they talk about, right? So they always talk about, if they can use a pixel, with like multiple products, multiple niches, or like if they have like 7 ad accounts in one business manager, if they can use, that pixel for all these 7 ad accounts. And every time when I read these like groups, and what other people are posting, like other marketers, it doesn't matter if, I don't know if these people make money or not, but most people says that no, that you need to have like one pixel for every product. Some people even say, that you should use pixel for campaign or for event. Some people say that you need to have like 1 pixel per ad account, 1 pixel per store, 1 pixel per niche. Like mostly they think that if you will have like 1 pixel for multiple products, that pixel will be confused. It will not convert well, or they think that Facebook will not know if that person is like a, for example, like cat, like buyer, or if it's like a car buyer. So that's like one of those things, or that pixel for some reason will be like so confused that it will literally like don't know where to go, if you should like target these people or that people, and all that. And well, most of them says always that if you will use 1 pixel for everything, you will never make money, or it will not work. Your campaigns will not perform well. Your campaigns will be shit, and so you should never ever use 1 pixel. And every time when I read it, it usually tells me that that person don't understand, in what platform they are like market, and how smart Facebook actually is, and you can actually answer this question, that if you can use 1 pixel for multiple products, multiple niches, or like multiple stores, you can answer it by literally just common sense, okay? Like even like like literally like it's like a retarded question, because Facebook is like very simple. People think it's like a science, but truth is that Facebook advertising is basically a common sense, and you can usually, like answer yourself using a common sense. Some people don't have it, but most people do. So let me just like show here on my iPad. I will draw. Okay, hope everybody sees my iPad now. Let's say that here we have a person. Okay, let's do this. Okay, so this is a person. Okay, this is a buyer. Okay, it's like a super cool buyer. And this person will buy some home product from some home store, okay? So this store is selling some products that are literally for home, okay? So it doesn't matter if it's like for gardening or whatever, okay? So let's say this is gardening product, okay? I will just make it more easier. So it's garden. Okay, so this is gardening product. This person purchased something from gardening store, okay? But this person also, week before that, purchased something for his dog, from some pet store, right? So that's another thing, right? Store. That person also, like let's say month before that, purchased some car store, some car product, okay? So because this person obviously it's like a normal person, right? So that person basically, he probably lives in a home, he has a dog, and that person also owns a car, okay? This is like a typical, like a layout of like a typical consumer, right? So that's like a normal life of a customer, if you think about it, okay? So they have a house, they have a garden, they have a dog, they have a car to drive. In all of these purchases, there was a Facebook pixel, okay? So here's Facebook pixel, here is Facebook pixel, and here is Facebook pixel, okay? So basically, all of these stores, all of these conversions, these free conversions, were made from completely different stores, completely different businesses, completely different business managers, and each of them have completely different, like Facebook pixel that has nothing to do with each other. So why I'm talking about that common sense? Does Facebook think that this consumer, this customer is a garden, like a gardening niche buyer, or is it car niche buyer, or is it dog product, buyer? So how Facebook should look at that customer, like how, So does Facebook sees, it's a dog buyer, garden car, or, like a overhead buyer? Well, Facebook don't care if it's like a car buyer or dog buyer or garden buyer. I mean, they see in what stores they buy. They probably understand in niche, but what is really important, and this is all about this, it's that this person, most importantly, is a buyer, okay? Facebook cares only if it's a buyer, yes or no, okay? It's a buyer, yes or not, okay? That's what your pixel cares about, okay? So when you see that people say, that basically you will confuse your pixel, and by adding like all these like tons of data, that are not related to each other. Well, truth is that you are actually doing something that is like very smart, because you are basically giving Facebook a huge database and tons of data of buyers, okay? So they don't really care if it's like a this buyer or that buyer. They care it's a buyer or not, okay? And then they have like tons of buyers in that, pixel database. And basically Facebook create, again, like a database full of buyers, okay? That's why, for example, even customer lists, that I use work great, right? So I, for example, have like, for all my stores that I have, I always like take like all database of customers through multiple niches, that I really like gathered in last years, put it together in like complete universal mix of like buyers, and then upload it to Facebook and create lookalikes from that, okay? Because Facebook cares if these people are buyers, okay? Because that's what they care about. That's why even you have those like events, right? So you can see that you have like a, conversion event, add to cart event. You have like a, like a event for like that, for example, for website visitors, right? So basically Facebook always let you to like optimize on one of these events, because they understand that, okay, so they, again, if you will even pick like add to carts, and you will optimize on that, Facebook will try to pick all people that put things to cart, okay? They don't care if these people are putting in their cart like car products, pet products, or like garden products, okay? They again care if this person is adding things to cart or not. Same thing, website clicks, okay? If you focus on clicks, and you want Facebook to get you more clicks and optimize on that, they don't care if that person buys or not, if it's add to carts or not, they care only, is this person a clicker or not, and then they will get you more clickers, okay? Because Facebook understand, that every of these customer, is probably going to buy from multiple niches, from multiple stores. So their main thing that they need to figure out is if they buy or not, okay? Do these people buy often or not? Okay, they don't care if it's like do these people buy often car products or pet products or not. They care literally buyer or not, okay? So when you see, like marketers talk about this, you need to understand that I don't know why, but like mostly people who really don't have that much experience are saying that you should not mix pixel, because in my mind, this just feels like a crazy idea, because literally like, it's like a common sense, more data you will give Facebook, better it will work, That's why so many lookalike audiences, stop working that great, Well, it's not like true, but it's a little bit like worse after iOS 14 because Facebook stopped getting like tons of data from iOS, because people started like blocking the tracking. So more data, Facebook basically will be more like smarter, okay? So you are basically giving it better chance to optimize if you are using one pixel in that business manager, okay? If you have like business manager, use just one pixel, okay? That pixel is like so smart, that tracking is like so smart that it will understand what's going on, okay? You will not like fucking confuse Facebook by giving it like data from like multiple niches. Like how crazy is this, Like it's just like crazy, Like seriously, like I don't understand why people like say this like so often because it just doesn't make any sense, Always try to follow common sense, So yeah, always what matters is like, is it a buyer, is it a buyer, yes or no, They don't really care if it's like a garden buyer, dog product buyer, or car store buyer. They care if it's a buyer or not, or if it clicks on the ad or something if you optimize for it. But most people optimize for conversions, which I definitely recommend, So this is like how I see it, I will just stop sharing my screen. That's like definitely the correct approach, like that, how you should do it. So if you can, try to have, like a pixel per BM, business manager, okay? So if you are running multiple ad accounts, you'll be able to take all this data, and put it to that one pixel. So it will be like ultimate pixel on steroids, I do this like for years, and I mean, like, it just doesn't make any sense why you would like to, like limit Facebook, and giving it like less data. I mean, you pay for all of this data and you decide that it's like a smart idea to just not give it to Facebook, It's that pixel and Facebook, that algorithm is like so smart that I just don't understand why people do it. So if you will throw all data on it, it will exactly know how to work with the data, okay? I mean, just literally use one pixel per BM, okay? If you will lose your BM, then okay, don't move that pixel anywhere else, okay? Don't share it with our BM, just let it die there, okay? If you want to start again with like a new, like a smart pixel or like some lookalike audiences, then again, use your database of your customers, and upload it to Facebook in that new business manager, but never like share these pixels, okay? Especially when you got flagged, people always like, first, even if you will not have that pixel that work, in your new business manager, it doesn't mean that new business manager will not work, okay? Or that you will not be able to sell, okay? So if you will lose that business manager or, ad accounts in it, just also like abandon the pixel and just create new one, okay? If you make it work in that business manager, the new one will work as well, okay? Because it's not about, your success is not about like that much about pixel, it's also about your ads and your offer. So don't like be scared about that, And like I said, try to use one pixel per business manager because, well, it's like where that Facebook magic is, because it's like a big data, right? Like more data you will throw on it, smarter it is, and more money it will be able to make you, and you will be able to better optimize your ads. Trying to like separate data, it's like retarded, and everybody who says that, it's like a crazy, because like every time when I see this, it's usually somebody with like a little like a small experience, like most people who are running this for like a long time, they will always tell you, that more data it have, the better it works, so don't try to like limit yourself or like shoot yourself in a leg, if you are running promotion, give it best chances by giving it most data, okay? So this is like what I think about a pixel and why everybody, like should use one pixel per business manager, okay? Because also, if you are thinking that your CPM is going higher or some shit like that, it's usually a bullshit, you know, and it's not because of pixel. Okay, I also read it sometimes, you know, that people say that, oh, like I'm having like so high CPM and my clicks are like so high, it's probably because of pixel, so I need to create new pixel. And it's like a stupid, you know, it's like dumb as fuck, you know. I'm just like so angry when I read these things, because it's always like so dumb, you know. If Facebook hates you, they just like shut you down, okay? They will not try to like shadow ban your pixel or whatever, you know. So if you are getting like bad results, it's usually because of your ads, of your product, or your, you know, like offer, okay? Or maybe you can, yeah, most of the time it's like an ad, okay? If something is not working, it's ad, okay? And yeah, if your, for example, CPM is going up, it could also mean that you are targeting like very small group of people, you know, because then that auction is like more expensive, you know. But yeah, usually when you have like bad results, better ad will solve it, okay? So just change video, change, you know, image, or change even like headline of that ad, okay? Usually ad can solve everything, okay? Every time when I had like results and they were completely, you know, like really bad, you know, it was like in loss, I first started working on ad, you know, change ad, you know, just like a million other versions of that ad, and I found like a new, you know, ad variation that worked and started working, you know, great again. So new ad will change always, you know, everything, okay? So it has nothing to do with pixel, okay? That pixel will basically help you to scale, you know, when you have that working ad and that working product, okay? But it's definitely not the reason why your product works or not, okay? So I restarted many times my promotions. I restarted many times in the past my stores and business managers with no data, you know, like nothing, and it worked, okay? Products that worked on different business managers worked again even with pixel with no data, okay? So if you are not successful, it's because of product or ad, it's not a pixel, okay? That pixel has really like a little, you know, like a, it has like little to do with the pixel, okay? If you are not making money with a promotion, or the promotion is like on bed rest, or it's always like on break even, or you cannot scale because it's not stable, okay? It's usually ad or product, okay? Or that offer. So yeah, think about that, okay? So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in next week with next AdFederation Weekly Live Training. And if you have any questions, you know, definitely like comment, you know, in group, and I will respond to it later. So thank you very much, and bye.